Hi, this is Lola from the Business Talk Library in Espanol, and I'm super happy and excited to talk to the entrepreneur that I have on today's show. June is doing amazing things on LinkedIn, and she's creating a new vibe for how business is done on LinkedIn. And I'm really excited just to talk to her about her journey and, more importantly, just the amazing things that she's doing with her business. So welcome to the show, June Caloroso. Welcome, June.
Thank you. Hola, everyone.
Hola, ¿cómo
¿Cómo
estás?
estás? Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Muy bien, gracias por estar aquí con nosotros. Thank you so much. And June is actually coming to us from her backyard. Tell us why, June.
Because my son is doing homeschooling in my office and he kicked me out. And I was telling Lola, gosh, I have this amazing setup. I have great lighting. And she even asked me, do you want to kick your son out? And I'm like, no, this is real. This is parenting during the pandemic. So let's embrace the imperfectionists.
Exactly. And that's one thing I got to say that I really love about your content, June. Is very real and raw. Just kind of showing what, like, the balance between working and running a business and being a mom and all of that. So let's hear a little bit about who June is, what your background is, and everything else that comes with it.
Yeah, so my name is June. Me llamas June Caloroso. And for the past almost 6 years, I have building teams within the tech space. So from tech giants like Google to unicorn startups like Wish, I did start off my recruiting background in agency recruiting. So really working with different tech companies such as Netflix and Tesla, as well as different manufacturing companies, financial firms, helping them with their contingent staffing. So I have a really good blend between agency recruiting, big tech, and startups. And because I was unfortunately one of the millions of people that were impacted because of COVID, I was laid off in April. But it was really a blessing in disguise because, with everything that's going on, I'm married, I live in the Bay Area, I have two small children, 6 and 4. It was probably a blessing in disguise because I do need to focus on helping them transition into the virtual learning. And you know what? I've been working since I was 13 and a half. And it's time for me to invest in my own self and my own business and brand.
Yes.
So now I have a business. It's growing. I'm building it. It's actually my own little startup. I actually onboarded my first intern.
Okay.
Charlene, shout out to Charlene. She's been amazing. Charlene Jimenez. And that's me in a nutshell. And what I'm really trying to do is really encourage everyone during this time to really focus on themselves, and learn what they can learn. I always think for me, it's like my biggest thing, have a side hustle because you never know what's going to happen.
You unpacked so much in that intro. Okay. Where do we start? I think I'm going to go a little bit. We're going to talk about June's business. But before we do that, I think you mentioned such a great point, that just the importance of being able to pivot, because you were one of the people impacted by COVID in April. You started your own company, which is no small feat. And now you're growing it. And even just when I see like the content that you put out, just really focused on leveraging the experience that you've gathered over the last, years of your experience and corporate career to really then turn that into a side hustle. I think it's really inspiring. Can you tell us a little bit just about your journey? So after finding out that you're one of the people that was impacted, unfortunately, by COVID, kind of walk us through that. So, like, did you kind of go from panic to plan, or were you like,
No.
you know what, I got this. Let's do it.
Excuse me, my eyes keeps turning because my kids are kind of in the background here. So if you see them, say hello. But oh my God, Lola, I didn't plan to open up a business during COVID. What I did is I've never been laid off, during freaking global pandemic, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't know. It was actually like an out of body experience. I was actually laid off right here in my backyard. It was done via Zoom.
Oh, wow.
And it was a week after I got back from vacation. It was actually a week after they announced shelter in place in the Bay Area.
Wow.
And done 1 week of homeschooling. And then the second day I got back from my vacation, mind you, I was supposed to go to Hawaii to celebrate my wedding anniversary, 5-year wedding anniversary with my husband. So what happened, I'm going to try to keep this short. So what did I do when I got laid off? I long story short, I reconnected with my passions. I have always been a creative. That's one of the biggest things I loved working at Wish, at the startup I was working at, is because I was like building things, building relationships, sharing my content and creative ideas to the social media team, communications team. But I was in my core role as a recruiter. So I was like, I actually launched a personal blog last year to integrate my journey and life as a mother into my tech career. But what happened was when I got laid off, I reinvested again into my personal blog. And then I did what I do best as a recruiter. I started interviewing people within my own personal network, from people within the tech industry, people that are in my city that are business owners. I've also interviewed a few council members here in Hayward, in the local government that we have here, and asking them how their experience has been with social distancing and what they have learned. And then I started being creative on TikTok and did all these like dance videos, and I actually kind of reconnected with my passions of acting and theater by doing these like little crazy skits. And then people started reaching out to me, asking me for help with their resumes, with their interviews. I've always helped people for free because I'm a recruiter. I know what companies are looking for. Yeah. So it's just natural to me, right? So then I had my aha moment when I got so many people, texting me and calling me. I said, you know what? This is a perfect time to launch my career coaching business. The people need me, right?
Exactly.
So that's, and then it wasn't until, so I got laid off in April. It wasn't until about June I started working with a coach. So the best thing I could have done with my severance package is take a little bit and invest in myself. And I started working with a coach. So that's how that kind of started.
That's really, really good. So good segue. Tell us a little bit about your business and the services you offer. So you mentioned a few things, resume writing. What I think also one thing I want to add is I think being a recruiter definitely was an advantage, but I gotta say there's different kinds of recruiters. Okay. There's people that, genuinely care about you and helping you. And then there's ones that are just kind of doing it to collect whatever. Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And that's one of the things that I've noticed is I just get the sense that, you really are passionate about helping and connecting. So if you could just tell us a little bit about your services and your business, what you do.
Yeah, so I actually did my official launch in August. So my company is called Build with June. That actually started off of my personal blog. And my overall mission is to instill confidence in people if they don't feel confidence in their skills. And what I offer is a wide range of services. I decided that I'm not going to be doing any more resume writing because that takes so much energy out of me. And because I really want to teach people, this is how you do your resume. So just show them, because you don't want to hire a new resume writer every time you apply for a job, right?
Exactly.
So I weigh a wide range of services, from an 8-week coaching program that focuses on 3 different stages. So the first stage is clarity and alignment, really understanding what positions that interest you and industries, coming up with a game plan as far as job search strategy, how to market yourself on LinkedIn, through my second stage of activation and magnetize, where we are building your brand on LinkedIn and optimizing your LinkedIn profile. So when you are networking with potential thought leaders and hiring leaders in the different tech companies you want to work for, they are interested in connecting with you because you have a compelling LinkedIn profile, right? And then also aligning that with a great resume by helping you build that resume, and then also helping you with your interview skills as far as interview preparation and coaching. That's all of it in a nutshell. Yeah. I now offer workshops now too, because I just got hired by a local community college and I hosted my first paid workshop on Wednesday.
Yay!
And I'm so passionate about community colleges because, girl, I've been around the block when it comes to community colleges.
Look, you gotta do what you gotta do. Yeah, and those places are, hey, you gotta start somewhere, and they really are, hey, They get you what you need.
They
so.
get you what you need at an affordable price. You know?
Exactly.
Like, not
exactly.
everyone has the financial means. I didn't
Exactly.
graduate college until 28 because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I was working retail, but I have a soft spot for community colleges because I know what it feels to grow up with not all of like the bells and whistles and the financial support. My parents couldn't send me to college.
Mhm.
So I've been working since I was 13 and a half, the moment that I was able to get a working permit. So I've always had that hustle and grit because I learned from my parents, because my mom was like a data entry specialist making $14 an hour. My dad's a mechanic and they're still working and they're technically at a retired age. So where am I going with this? I'm going off a tangent, but yeah, those are my services.
Great. So definitely check out June's LinkedIn Live. Trust me, you will not regret it. There's a lot of fun, and a lot of, not more than fun, a lot of valuable insight and perspectives that's shared. So please check it out. Now, yes. June, I know you've talked about LinkedIn. Is there anywhere else people can find you, or how can people reach out to you if they're interested in doing business with Build with June?
Yeah, you could find me on my website, buildwithjune.com, Build with June on Instagram, as well as LinkedIn, just linkedin.com/buildwithjune, and you find me there. I also do weekly lives on sharing career tips and advice. And then I put a lot of content that helps job seekers when it comes to their like leveling up their LinkedIn profile, resume, and then just their overall mindset. Mindset for me is very huge too. But yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn.
Great. Awesome. Thank you so much, June. So last question, something that I always like to ask people because I think everyone has a different perspective and brings something unique to the table, is what 2 tips or advice, or just maybe if it's only one, because you've given us so much good stuff already about the importance of mindset and everything else, but what 2 tips would you advise an entrepreneur or someone who's trying to navigate, the whole thing of COVID, or, they've been also impacted by the layoffs and they're trying to just figure out what's next? So any of those categories, what would your advice be?
Like 2 tips?
Mm-hmm.
First off, with mindset, I think with being laid off, because I know so many people are being impacted, really take the time to navigate through those emotions. And that's it's just basically that the different 5 stages of grief, right? And just know that it's not your fault. It's COVID. This is a global pandemic that we didn't see it was going to happen. But on the second tip, so first tip, take the time to really deal with the emotions and ask for help and build that community, because that's what helped me. Is community on LinkedIn helped me navigate through those emotions. And then also for my second tip for job seekers and entrepreneurs, stop talking about it and be about it. So for example, with my job seekers and clients that I've worked with, some of them want to do social media, they want to do project management, they want to do sales. So it's like, you want to think like an entrepreneur and think like a freelancer. If you want to get hired for a project manager role or social media, start working on your own brand and yourself, and the opportunities are going to come to you. I'm saying this from speaking from experience. I've always had a passion for social media. I got 2 of my first gigs on social media working for other entrepreneurs because of my content.
Yeah.
So that's my thing, is stop waiting for the opportunity, create the opportunity, and work on your own brand and just put yourself out there and see where it takes you.
That is so good. Thank you so much, June. Really, really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for taking the time. And hey, we didn't see a guest appearance of the kids, but hey, maybe next time.
Oh no, we did good. This is nice and efficient.
Success. But yes, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much, June, for sharing your story. Please follow Build with June, and thank you so much for everything that you're doing to help people just get their confidence back and helping them navigate the job market. And again, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Lola.